Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Second camera has decided to break for some reason, so let's head to the driver's standings. As you can see, it is Cook on that top spot by a total of 10 points over Liam in second. Of course, the two drivers that have won this season are the top two in the standings. Puzant is tied on points with Liam. He's third place is Joker, Snoop Panda, Ben, Ericsson, Shefton, Andy, Away Pack, Swaggy, Massive Sprint, Liam Bearder, who's had a very poor start to the season compared to last, Jay Thomas, and Agent, who round out those top 16 finishes. Just trying to fix my camera now, but of course, last time out, it was a victory for Liam, who of course righted his wrongs from last time out. And it seems that he could potentially be one fighting for this championship. Of course, was in that championship fight for a majority of last season, and then unfortunately for him, it just fell away from him. And this season, he wrote his wrongs, from last season. This season, right, and reclaim that. Well, he's trying to claim that crown and take it away from reigning champion Cook. For some reason, deciding to fix itself. So, I mean, the drivers are trackside anyway, so we shall head over there in a moment's time. Yeah, let's quickly head trackside to the drivers to see what they have in store for us this evening. We are here at Las Vegas at Sin City, where we finished off last season, is where we host round 3 today. I'll now head over trackside to see what these drivers do have in store. Only 15 tonight. There is 14 currently, but there is, of course, one more joining us this evening. Not sure who that is, but make our way over now. See, come out on top in this qualifying session. But first one out onto the circuit is going to be Joker, who took pole last time out. Last time we came to, of course, Las Vegas. Of course, last week's pole was reigning champion Cook. And that was a very, very strong pole position lap time from Cook. He left it all till the last minute. Everyone else had 3 or 4 runs before their final laps. Cook just needed the one, and he got it done in that one attempt. Well, he needed the one after his original banker. But he just needed that. Everybody else was getting more track time, getting more confidence around an Imola circuit where confidence is so crucial. Able to take the crown of pole position. Unfortunately missed out on the race victory after trying the 2-stop when Liam tried the 1 for Liam. That time around in Imola, he got the right strategy. Actually, no, sorry, it's not Joker who goes round first, but we'll stay on board with the Kick Sauber. As I mentioned, got pole position in the season finale last time out. Well, last time we came to Vegas, I should say. DRS Open and making his way down into turn 5, down to 3rd gear. Slowly bring that throttle back up. 26.3 from Joker in that first sector. We know he's fast around here. And as he makes his way now through 9 and 10. And slamming onto the brakes into 11, down to 3rd gear, bring it as close to that outside wall as possible, which he does. Open up the DRS down the Las Vegas strip and bring it all the way into the final braking zone. The final chicane, what's it going to be here for Joker once he makes his way to the line? Not sure who the benchmark's going to be. Sprint with a 32.2. Joker's surely going to beat that. He was in the 30s last time we came here. Newt Panda a 31.2. Here comes Joker to the line. Only a 31.5 from Joker, but we know the track does considerably improve as Swaggy goes to 3rd fastest. We have got, of course, Puzant here this evening as well, alongside Liam, who I think just making his way to the line. Did make his way to the line, was enough for a 31.0, but must have cut too much on the final corner because got a list and next invalidation. Ben goes up into 3rd fastest with 31.6. We'll head back over to Puzant. He's now making his way to the line. Liam Bearder is 6th. Here comes Puzant. What's it going to be for the Kick Sauber? A 31.2, just shy of Newt Panda's lap time, as that was Harvey going up into 5th. We got Muse, who's now going to be next to the line. What's he going to be able to set here? Is he going to be enough to beat Liam Bearder and get up into that 8th spot? No, 9th fastest for him. Next to the line is going to be Massive, followed by Cook starting a lap, and then it's BJ Riley who's going to be finishing off his next attempt. Massive only 9th. Riley has backed off to go again, so we'll head over to reigning champion Cook, where he got the championship lead and took the title last season at this very venue. But this time it's not a sprint race, it is just a feature race, and very wide through turns 3 and 4. That's going to really compromise his run all the way down into 5. as we make our way now into the S's of 9 and 10, which instantly leads you into 11, braking at 100 meters down to third gear. Cook, big amount of curb there, of course, trying to get as much time as he can with that little cut on the apex curb. And now open up the DRS as he gets a lovely slipstream off the Alpine there. That's going to be of massive. And up into that final chicane. What's it going to be here from Cook? Nicely over that first curb and the second one as well, but it was a messy first sector, so that might have cost him dear as Sprint has retired by himself. We can't actually get a view of that, but I'm not sure how he's retired. Across the line for Cook, it is good enough for provisional pole. A 31, one time in the lap, but very strong indeed. A good way to start his session. The reigning champ, the man who took pole position last time out, starting his evening off very strong way. That was someone moving themselves further forward. That was Riley going up into 6th fastest, a 32.2 for the Mercedes driver, with Harvey pushing on a 1,000th up in the first sector. What's it we going to see in the middle? How much of an improvement are we going to see here from Harvey and the McLaren? Big points going to be scored today from some who haven't scored yet this season. And over through the middle sector split. Oh, we didn't see how much he was up by. But now heading into the final chicane. Sprint has left the session. Not sure why. Potentially just connected there. But out of the chicane we go. Here with Harvey. Up to the line for the McLaren. Is it enough for an improvement of position or just an improvement of time? It's an improvement of time, but not by much. And he stays 6th fastest for that Papaya machine. Cook and Riley have, of course, are coming into the pit lane. They have finished their lap. So next one, who's going to be on a attempt, is going to be pushing for a position further forward. Looks to be the Scuderia Ferrari of Swaggy. So for Swaggy, currently sits 8th fastest with a 32.2, a 10th of a second improvement. See him up into 6th. So as he now makes his way through that first sector, down through turn 5. The car naturally wants to understeer to that left-hand side. It's back on the power. He's up already by 3.5 tenths of a second. Could he be a 6th driver into those 131s? Making his way through 8, a little bit wide from the apex there. Going to really compromise his exit and the rest of the run all the way down through turns 9 and 10. Yellow flag in sector 3. That's just for Massive, I think, starting his next lap. We've got 8 minutes and 16 seconds left to go here in qualifying. And look how much time Swaggy's lost in that middle sector. 2 tenths of a second. So for Swaggy, he's still going to do enough to get up into 6th. A potential P5 could have been on the cards there, but as we now make our way down to Las Vegas, stripping into that final chicane, get a big braking zone here, down to third gear. He'll go over that first apex curb. Not as much as we've seen others do, but a nice exit out of that chicane drives him now forwards. And what's it going to be for Swaggy? Across the line he goes. Is it enough to be in the 31s? Yes, it is. A 31.8. 4 tenths found as Liam goes quickest of all. A 30.9. He won last time out and he's looking to try and capitalise and take pole position along with it as Joker's on a lap time and he's 2.5 tenths to the good as well. A 31.5 from last season's pole sitter at this very venue. Up by 3.5 tenths now in the middle. He certainly could still be a contender for pole. New Panda, I think, just starting a lap. Yes, he was. We'll stay on board with Joker as he now heads down into that final chicane. Down to third gear. Oh, and round! Joker round! A little bit too greedy with the throttle application. Out of the first part of the chicane. And unfortunately, it sees him rounding in the wall and some big improvements there. Unfortunately, derailed as Liam Bearder goes up to 8th with a half a second improvement. I think it's going to be massive now next to the line. It is. He's found nearly a second and up to 11th fastest on the 32.2. But for Joker, disappointment there as his teammate Puzant is up by 0.2 of a second. He's in the fight for pole and Panda only up by 700ths. So here we are then with Puzant late on the brakes. Is he going to make the same mistake his teammate did, or is he going to be a little bit more cautious? He is going to be a little bit more cautious, not as greedy to get that right foot to the floor. And this time for Puzant, there's a good exit and a good drive now all the way down into that final corner. What's it going to be for him? Is it enough to snatch pole position away? No, it is not. And he goes second fastest, a 31.0 onto the front row. Good improvement as Panda now makes his way to the line. I think he might have lost some time throughout the lap. Across the line he goes. The 31.122 stays for fastest. The 10th of a second down on his previous best. Hughes is not on a lap. Rory just getting his next attempt underway. His first attempt, and what could actually be the only attempt if he's not able to get round quick enough to get into the pit lane and do another outlap and get it all started again. Crucial for him here. The A team has just joined us as well. Now heading into that chicane, how is he going to do here? Late on the brakes. So for Rory, can he match his teammate of Harvey, or is that just going to be a little bit too far away from his grasp? Of course, the only driver so far in those 1 minute 30s is Liam. Here comes Rory to the line, a 32.6. Now 14th fastest, with only one other car on the road. That being Riley, who's just starting his next attempt on a 32.2 at the moment in the Mercedes. A little bit wide once again through turn 4. This time for Riley. And now onto the brakes. Down into turn 5. Rory's been disqualified, so he'll start from last. For parking in a dangerous location. Didn't see how much Riley was up for there, unfortunately, just due to the fact I was looking at Rory's disqualification. The A team is out on the road alongside Joker and Riley now. So for the Mercedes driver in the Silver Arrows machine, making his way through 11 and getting a nice exit out of there. We're going to see as he opens up the DRS, makes his way into that final chicane. A 10th of a second will put him in front of Harvey. We need to find at least, I would say, 4 attempts to get close to Liam Bearder. And can get a nice little toe as well of Joker just in front of him as he makes his way to the line. Cookout on an outlap. Liam now out as well. Here comes Riley to the line. A 31.7 puts himself 7th fastest. Very nicely done indeed, and that's the best he's going to start as Joker now starts his attempt. We saw how much of an improvement Joker was making on that last lap before he got too greedy with the throttle. Is it going to be the same case here this evening? through turn 5 we go. Looking at the first sector split, 2 attempts to the good, about a tenth quicker than what we saw last time around. Nicely done through turn 6, 7, then into 8. Towards the throttle once more. A little bit of traffic in the way. I think that will be the Alpine of Liam just in the way. As he now makes his way down into turn 11. How good does he hit this next apex? Down to third gear, over that inside apex curve nicely, and now back out onto the throttle. Middle sector split, up by 4 tenths of a second, so up by around about half a tenth on his previous lap, where he unfortunately messed up in that final chicane. So for Joker, he's still on that trend of improvement, lap after lap. Of course, around a street circuit, confidence is key, and around Vegas, you need to break that a little bit later and later each time. Into the chicane we go now with Joker. What's it going to be for the Kick Sauber as he makes his way out of that final corner, making his way to the start-finish line? Can Joker snatch provisional pole away from Liam across the line? No, misses out a 31.4, and unfortunately does not see himself at the top of the times. It's third place for Joker as Cook is up by a tenth of a second in the middle sector, but we still have other drivers pushing on a little bit further up the road. Swaggy is on a push lap, down by a tenth in that middle sector. Cook up by nearly 3 tenths in the middle sector. This could be Cook taking back-to-back pole positions and only needing the 1 attempt to do so after setting his banker where everybody else has had another lap in between. So for Cook, of course, still Liam trundling around the circuit. Is he finding improvement? Yes, he is in that first sector. How good is his final chicane for the reigning champion? It's nice through there. Can Cook get an unsurmountable margin at this late stage of qualifying? The checkered flag will come out now, and for Cook, isn't enough to snatch pole position away. It is by a tenth of a second. He snatches it away from Cook. Pusan is up by 0.04 of a second. Liam, is he up by any more? He is by a tenth of a second. It's not all over yet in the battle for pole position. Cook currently on that provisional pole, but the Alpine of Liam fighting back, and he's looking to try and take pole position and carry on that fine momentum after the win last time out in Imola. Here comes Liam then, late on the brakes. He's got to hold his nerve. He's the one chasing a target lap time, but no, gets it all wrong and invalidates. It's looking like another second place start here for Liam, unless Putan can do anything about it. Could it be the same top 3 as last week, or will Cook snatch it away? And for Putan, is he going to be able to tell any more parts of this story? Can he make another twist in the tail? Can he flip the script and take it away from the reigning champion? A little bit of a scrappy exit out of that chicane, but here comes Pusan to the line. He needs to find 2 tenths. Has he found enough? No! A slight improvement, but not enough to improve position. It's the same top 3 as last week. It's Cook from Liam from Pusan. And as we saw last week in Imola, Liam won that race. Can he win it again? Or is the reigning champion got enough in the tank this time around to snatch that race victory? We'll have to wait and see. But for Cook, it's back-to-back pole positions in qualifying. While everybody else is doing multiple laps, he only needs the 2. And he's able to snatch pole position with a last gasp effort once again. Some real champions laps coming out from Cook over the course of this season. And for Cook, he takes that pole position from Liam, Pusan, Joker, Panda, Ben, Bearder, Riley, Harvey, Swaggy, Massive, Must, Sprint, the A-Team, and Rory round out your field. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to quickly head to a short break while we have a lobby restart. So make sure you stick around. Will Cook make it his second win of the season? Could Liam take back-to-back race victories and make it his second victory of the season? Or will Pusan finally get revenge for Belgium and take his first victory? Or could even Joker, who won here last time we came to Vegas in that season finale, take OWLS? All will be revealed in a few moments' time. Stick around. See you in 4 moments' time. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Las Vegas at a 6.12 or 3.803 mile circuit. 70 here this evening. It is, of course, one of the more recent additions to the F1 calendar, and of course, great circuit in Sin City itself. It holds a lot of prestige. Just the name alone of two DRS zones, one down between turns 4 and 5, and the other one between turns 13 and 14. Very technical middle sector, followed by a very, very long straight over kilometre long. Takes up a majority of the circuit, does that Las Vegas strip. Very much a prime overtaking opportunity. Plenty of overtaking opportunity. Turns 1 into 15, into 5. Throw some lunges in the likes of turn 12 and also turn 8. Turn 7 if you're close enough. But the drivers have just headed trackside, so let's now have a look at the pit garages. Is a dry for a start to the race at the very least here this evening. Of course, as it is Liam. Look, front row of the grid with the Aston Martin, reigning champion on pole position alongside the Alpine. The Cook works from pole position. Come on with Liam, make it back-to-back race victories, back-to-back victories from starting second. So here we are then, the 5 red lights, just waiting that command now. It's Cook and Liam on the front row of the grid. And we're underway here in Vegas. It's a good start from the Alpine, who potentially even draws level into turn 1. He does, but look at Poussin swinging it right around the outside. Just didn't have the grip to carry on with that one, as New Panda is now going side by side with Joker as he heads through turns 3 and 4. Forced wide is the Kick Sauber, closer to the wall. That's now going to allow Ben to get the drive up the inside as well. Joker dropping down a place already off the start. Last season's race winner at this circuit. And now around the outside he goes through turn 5. Still side by side with the Williams driver. Is it going to be Ben or Joker who comes out on top? Ben will get the sweeping wide line through 6 and then into 7. There's some contact. I think there's some front wing flying for the Williams driver. No, he's just about got it all intact, but he gets past on Joker. And that's 2 places lost on the opening tour for the Kick Sauber driver, and they're nearly out of DRS range already. Riley also waiting in the wings to try and capitalise on the Kick Sauber here as we make our way through 12. Who's going to come out on top now as we make our way down the Las Vegas Strip? And actually, I think there might have been a move from Poussin onto Liam, because Liam's dropped out of DRS range of Poussin, and New Panda's all over the back of the Kick Sauber. Here comes Poussin on the inside now as we're watching this from New Panda's on board, switching straight over to the Kick Sauber, not able to get the move done. Is Poussin onto Liam, and he has to sit behind as Rory is going side by side here with Liam Bearder. He's able to get through. Of course, Poussin, last time we came here, lost the championship and also just had an abysmal time disconnecting in the race, costing him that title. And he will want to take revenge for that, and you have a lot of things to prove around this track, knowing he can take race victories around here. Liam Bearder now side by side with Swaggy as we head down into turn 5. Is it going to be Liam who comes out on top? Late into the brakes and into the wall goes Liam. That's surely some front wing damage. And there's a McLaren in the wall as well as Rory, who is spun around. Potentially caught out by the Red Bull. He went into the wall. 2 drivers picking up front wing damage. And let's have a look at the tyres that the drivers are using this evening as Rory straight into the wall. Oh, that seemed like it was purpose DNF. And a safety car has been called here on lap 2 of the Grand Prix. Unfortunate to see there with that collision with Rory, but that seemed like he got a little bit too hot underneath the helmet and went straight into the wall. So what do the drivers do now under this safety car? Of course, it's a 25-lap Grand Prix. Do they dare go on to a set of the hards, or they all stay out on the mediums? Everyone started on the medium tyre. see Cook lead the herd into pit lane. If so, Joker's going to fall down even further back. Cook not coming in, neither is... No one's coming in so far from those front runners. I think Joker was expecting Buzzant to come in, so backed up the pack massively. He has come in alongside Riley. And also, Rory just put in the chat that his brakes stopped working. It was a pedal issue, not him purposely going into the wall. So, my apologies for saying that about Rory. But it was a brake failure for the Baron driver. Unfortunate to see him out so early. But it now means this race is now split into two. And for Joker, he's on the hards. Can he take these to the end? That is the question. It's going to be difficult to do so. He is sitting up near the end of the race, so he needs to try and stay with this pack until they come into pit lane. Because these medium runners can now extend them and have more time to push on those hards. They don't have to save as much in that second stint. Wait and see how this race now plays out. So as we now will prepare for the restart, field split in two really, with 9th to 14th on the hards and 1st to 8th on the medium. As the pit lane actually came 18 once again, looking to go on another set of the hards. So why he's done that. As safety car will come in at the end of this lap. Look, away. There were plenty of safety cars last time we came to Vegas. Are we going to have the same affair here this evening? So for Cook, as they make their way down the Las Vegas Strip, safety car is in at the end of this lap. Is it going to be an early getaway from Cook, or is he going to leave it late? That is going to be the big question here on lap 4 of 25. Of course, Joker, Riley, Muse and co will all have to save massively on those hards, where these medium runners can use them all the way till their shelf life is expired. As there's a crash in the background, it's Massive and Riley both into the wall, and Joker involved as well. Joker, the lead runner on that train, drops down to 14th. Massive, of course, was involved in that collision, and he's picked up some front wing damage. It was chaos at the back there. I don't know if they potentially got caught out by that safety car restart or someone just turned across one another, but they've already dropped DRS that train. Muse has become the lead hard runner out of all that somehow, and Riley's now dropping behind F1 Sprint, as actually the A-team is looking to try and swing it round. He's outside as there we see as well Liam Bearder trying to capitalise as well. Round the outside will go the Red Bull on the Aston Martin. It's even more pain for Joker. It's just been such a horrid start to the season. It's like last season all over again. A torrid start backed up by a good end to the season. So for Joker, it could be a similar story. There's Riley, goes really wide, nearly drops the car, and the A-team will try to swing this one all the way around the outside as Riley goes straight on at turn 12. Caught out under braking, and that's allowed Bearder, the A-team, and Riley to all go through as Liam has got the jump here onto Cook, who might fight back into the next chicane. I'm not sure if he will, just to save tyres, and the battery will just sit behind. But for Liam, he is now in that race lead. We have a change at the front of the field. We have a change a little bit further back. Sprint able to get past Massive Joker. Able to get past Liam Bearder for 12th place. And he'll try and make his way out through the order. But Muse leading that train. He's one of the slower drivers on those hards. No offence to Muse, but he's not one of the quicker ones that we'll see here this evening. That could open up a big gap between the mediums and those hard runners, but he wasn't too far off in qualifying. But if it was Joker, he would certainly have been pounding the back of Swaggy, as there goes the A-team onto Massive, who's falling back on those 5-lap old mediums. Out the wall there was the A-team, very late on the brakes from the Aston Martin. As Liam Bearder tried going all the way around the outside of Joker, and he went off himself. Any drivers going wide or just going straight off the road. Has Joker picked up any front wing damage from that collision? No, it doesn't. So at the moment. And for Cook at the front of the field, of course, DRS being able, the first time we're seeing action here this evening. Going to look to the outside line here onto Liam. Is he going to get the move done? You bet he will. Does move himself up into that race lead as Sprint is able to get past on Muse. So Harvey is able to follow him through, and the 18 caught out under braking. Can he still pull off that move? No, I think he just went... No, he of course had to slot back in as it's a yellow flag. It's for Liam Bearder as Pusan has been able to get past Liam as well, who's going around the outside now with the kick Sauber. So Liam with a poor exit out of chicane, and something happened to Liam Bearder as well. Missing part of his front wing once again, potentially just dropped it out of the chicane. But it's now Pusan into second. It's the two title protagonists from last season who are fighting at this very circuit, with Liam now in third. Newt Panda, he's in fourth, with Ben actually in another strong fifth place position. It's been a good start to the season here for Ben. Had some very strong results indeed. Continue that trend. That gap now between the top 6 and Sprint is 3 seconds at the moment, and building quite substantially. Smack of the wall there in the background. I think that was from Swaggy, just tapping it with his rear right on the exit of the corner. And Pusan gets that switch done. Liam Bearder's gone straight on at turn 5. Once again, is that more front wing damage? Harvey able to get past on Sprint. The A-team finally able to get past Muse. And that might actually invite Joker to go for a lunge. Looks to the inside, does the kick Sauber. And he gets through nice and easily. Nice stuff there from Joker. Up into P10. This will be the A-team, who's 2 seconds off the two closest hard runners in front of him. Liam's drops out of DRS range now of Cook and Pusan. Seem to be really struggling out of that chicane. Cook, he's now just going to sit behind for a lap and then push on once again. Potentially make that switch with Pusan as they try to break away from the chasing pack behind. Liam crucially needs to get out within DRS here. He needs a monstrous middle sector. Nearly clawing it back, but I just don't think he will get close enough to claw it back. Liam being at 10 seconds of speeding in the pit lane and does unfortunately die from the session. It's a good exit out of here, does Liam. I think he might just get within it. He's so close. It's 9/10 of a second, and he will just about pick up that DRS. That was crucial for Liam. Or did he? Oh, he might not have got it. It might have just went into Cooke's favour. And no, the rear wing is not open. He did not get DRS. Cooke, who takes the race lead now as Harvey gets past on sprint. Liam drops out of DRS range, and that now puts him on the back foot from Panda, and it's going to be so much harder now to catch up to Cooke and Puzan in front. These two need to work together to break away from the field like they did in Belgium, as they know a little bit further back are the hard runners, as Joker's able to get past the 18 through the final corner. Cooke and Puzan, they have now got the perfect buffer between them and the Alpine, and Nuke Panda will want to start applying that pressure as he'll want a second podium of the season. Once again, actually, Liam gets back within DRS range of Puzan. He has a monstrous middle sector, does Liam. He's really able to close back up, but then look at that. He just runs out of the battery and starts derating as Puzan goes once again for that switch for the race lead. And now we might see Nuke Panda go for the move onto Liam. He's getting closer, and he will go to the inside. The Ferrari, will he see himself clear? Late on the brakes, goes deep into the corner. That might now allow Liam to fight back on the exit. But no, a big slide for the Alpine will put him on the back foot against the Ferraris. They now make their way through the final corner into that turn one. And no, for Liam, not close enough for a lunger, is he, with that slipstream? No, just doesn't look for it. Thinks better of it as Harvey is able to get past Swaggy, who comes into the pit lane. He's the first of the medium runners to come into the pits. He'll get on to a set of the hards. Undercut attempt here from the second of the two Scuderia Ferraris. How well is that going to work out for him? Someone there just disconnected from the session. Exactly who it was. Panda hasn't got so much of a good middle sector on him as Liam did. And that gap now 1.7 between himself and Cooke. And I think Liam is going to get that switch instantly back onto the Ferrari. But did give him time to save some battery. But I think the damage is well and truly done on that gap to the front of the field. As there we see Liam get by and back up into third. These two are going to be swapping all race long as Joker is able to get past on sprint. It was Sprint who actually disconnected as Joker and the A-team make their way through, and the A-team might go for a move here onto Joker. To the inside he goes on the kick Sauber. Is he going to be able to pull this one off? Joker will hold this one round the outside. They're now side by side through 15 and 16, and the A-team makes his way through as Cooke, Liam and Panda all come into pit lane. I think Ben follows them in too. He does, as the A-team runs wide through the final corner, allowing Joker the opportunity to slip back up the inside into turn one. And he is straight back ahead, but goes a little bit deep, and the A-team's able to get the up and under. Trying it again through turn three. Will get the DRS. Will the Aston Martin? I just don't think he's close enough for a lunge into five, or is he? He's going to look for it. Joker derating. Thinks better of it. Wait for another opportunity. Done well to keep with the back of Joker, actually, but it'll be interesting to see how this undercut now plays out, as somehow Cooke's jumped Nuke Panda in the pit lane and is caught right up to the back. of Cook as well. So potentially some dramas there for Cook and Panda in the pits. Now Cook is on the back foot as Liam is hounding the back of the Aston Martin on his fresh hard compounder tyres. I think these other hard runners haven't broken away from enough either as we're on lap 11 of 25, nearly at that halfway point. Houston is actually going to get past his teammate, of course, disconnected, and it's the A-team going to fight back here against Joker. To open up that DRS, he will get closer and closer, but I just don't think he'll get close enough, as we're going to see Liam get by here on Cook, open up that DRS, see himself up into that 9th place as Puzan comes into pit lane. It's 8th place for Liam. Cook just slots back in behind. Nuke Panda also into play here as well. We could have a four-way fight for this race victory. Sprint has joined back. Good to see him back. Unfortunately, he's lost quite a bit of time. Disconnecting. Puzan, where does he come out compared to the boys? And it's only... And it's in 7th place, and he's ahead of Liam, crucially. And nearly the whole DRS. Nearly 1 second clear, and the DRS is actually Nuke Panda looking around the outside of Cook here. The Ferrari trying to put some pressure onto the reigning champion. As we head through turn 6 and 7, Cook is able to hold on for now. Liam, of course, with that monstrous sector, will get back within touching distance of Puzan, who has some DRS on Sprint, who is starting to lag ever so slightly. Just in front of him is Riley. They've really caught up to the back of this train. Have these fresh, hard tyre runners. See how well they navigate this traffic now. Puzan now looking to the inside here on Riley. Is able to make his way through. That's now 2 cars in between himself and Liam, who wants a good run. Oh, and that's a big slide for Sprint, and that's opened the door and invited both Liam and Cook through, and also Nuke Panda as well, as Liam will want to get by Riley here into that first corner. Is he going to be aggressive? It's the fastest lap. He is aggressive. Late on the brakes from the Alpine. The Mercedes leaves him the room, and he is up into 6th place and still within DRS range of Puzan. The chase is well and truly on. And he is really trying to claw this one back. Oh, it's into the wall. There goes Riley as well. At turn 5, picking up some front wing damage, and that's unfortunate to see for him there. So for Liam, he's now right on the back of Puzan, the leader of this train. But Puzan had the DRS there off Muse, so it won't come into any effect. But he will get closer to the back of the Haas and make his way through. Will Liam? Muse will try to fight it and locks the rears, and into Liam he goes. Picks up a 3-second time penalty. That will surely get removed. But Muse, there was no need to fight that one. Of course, he had every right to, but he didn't really need to. Locked the rears and went straight into the Alpine. And that has given Puzan the lucky break he needed. But with Liam's monstrous middle sector, he can still certainly claw his way back, as Ben has dropped 3 seconds behind this train. To have that 4-way fight for the race victory. At 14 of 25. Now we have reached that halfway stage. But I don't think Liam will pick up, unless he picks up any more penalties. Warnings, sorry, should I say. think he will be able to clear that penalty. It might have even been an instant one due to where he went on the circuit. And it's Puzant within DRS range of the A team. He just about is, but Liam's clawed back the DRS onto Puzant. But is it by enough? I think Puzant might have dropped out of DRS range as well. So it could just be Cook getting by to allow these drivers to catch up to the back of the kick Sauber. Yes, there goes Cook on Liam. Puzant did not get the DRS, so that does not help him one bit. And for Cook, he's now the reigning champion, the one to hunt down his older rival. Of course, these two are in a massive battle in Belgium as Joker takes the race lead. Cook sets the fastest lap. 3 cars stand in the way of Puzant, Cook and Liam from taking those top 3 spots, and Panda as well from taking 4th. Puzant now within DRS of Cook. Of not Cook, sorry, of the A team, and Cook now within DRS range of Puzant. The A team actually putting some pressure onto Harvey in front, maybe having those 1 lap younger tyres after the pit stop, having that 2 or maybe 3% less wear could be his saving grace. But here comes Puzant to try and swing this one right around the outside, but just backs out of it. It was not worth the overtake, not worth the risk. Him potentially seeing himself into the wall, because you understeer so much going out on those marbles there. But he gets a good run out of turn 12, and he is through on the Aston Martin. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a switch between the 2 teammates now of Cook and the A team as we make our way down the Las Vegas strip. And look at that, the A team moves out the way nicely. And Cook is still onto the back of his old foe, but goes deep into the chicane. He's going to compromise his run, and this might allow Puzant to potentially get the opportunity to overtake Harvey, who comes into pit lane. So that's crucial. A car less in between Cook and Puzant. He wasn't able to get the rolling roadblock. Was the kick Sauber, as Liam is still within DRS range, and so is Panda as well. They're still just about within touching distance. Oh, Puzant nearly into the... Actually, Joker and Puzant have swapped positions as well, so Joker could play the ultimate team game here for Puzant and back up Cook, make him lose DRS range. Is that what going to be? Is that going to be the tactic at play? And will Joker defend for his life here for his teammate? Out of turn 12 we go. Joker will get DRS on his teammate. Even harder for Cook to see himself through. Joker won't go for the lunge onto Puzant. And Liam caught out under braking, has to go to the inside there onto Cook. Just isn't able to get the move done. And luckily, doesn't go into the side of the Aston Martin either. Joker stays out even longer in this race. Made out 14 laps now on these hards. I wouldn't be surprised if Cook's getting a little bit frustrated inside that Aston Martin cockpit. Oh, but Joker with a big slide, and that allows Cook through. Joker, as Liam runs wide, New Panda now makes his way through. Liam running wide out of avoidance of the kick Sauber, and Panda now to the inside of Joker. Is he going to be able to get this move done onto the brakes? Controller disconnected as no, Joker into the wall. Big some front wing damage, too late on the brakes. Cook out of the DRS range now of Puzant. As we see now, here comes Liam trying to hold this one round the outside. Does hold it round the outside. And for Puzant, he's crucially clear of the DRS, and Cook's clear of the DRS as well from New Panda. But for Joker, making a mistake in his valiant effort to defend. And he picks up front wing damage as Liam spins! Liam spins out of turn 12! And he's the next victim of the wall. It could have been 2 podiums in a row here for Liam, but he's invited New Panda into that equation to get his second podium of the season. And as long as he keeps it clean now, it certainly will work for him. He certainly will get that second podium. And Panda, after what was a consistent but yet just subpar season, it wasn't quite there for a championship or top 3 challenge, but he was consistently scoring points. Here in the opening 3 rounds of the season, it is 2 but third places at the moment, backed up as well, of course, by a strong result last time out as Liam comes into the pit lane to change that front wing. The Alpine driver, when it rains it pours for him. Once again, poor luck could derail his season, and it certainly has. In this third round of the season, after a win last time out in Imola, he might not even score any points at this rate with not long left to go in this race. Not one driver, I was going to say not one driver within DRS range of one another, than the 18 decides to get within DRS range of Harvey for that 8th place. Puzant has checked out at the front of the field. He's 2 seconds clear now of Cook. And for the A team, he's now trying to hunt down Harvey in front. On the back of Sprint, kind of disconnected himself again, because that gap just a minute ago was around about 2 seconds. So for Harvey, as he gets closer, the A team drops a little bit further back. Puzant now 2.3 seconds clear. As we exit out of turn 8, Harvey with a full battery. Maybe some DRS checking going on there, but knows he can't really play that with Sprint. I have a feeling Sprint is in AI mode at the moment. Check on the steering. Not too sure. It might be him in person, but it's really dropped off the pace. I think he might actually have some front wing damage that might be costing him as well as he now makes his way down the Las Vegas Strip. No, he does not. Opens up the DRS slope against the A team, who gets by with ease and will look to try and get past Harvey as well. Around the outside, it's 3 wide into the chicane. This is not going to end well, and no, Sprint is sent round. The A team now side by side with Harvey, and he makes his way through. There's actually some contact between the pair on the exit of the corner, but the A team up into 7th place. Harvey following closely in solo and want to look for a move into that first corner. Is he going to try brave it around the outside? He'll look for the up and under, but well parked on the apex there from the A team, who puts himself up into 7th place in what has been a solid drive from the Aston Martin. But now Harvey with the DRS gets him straight back and is now himself back into that 7th place. The A team, though, all over the back of Harvey still. Will it be DRS open for the Aston Martin? Is actually, I think he's just trying to get to that detection zone. Did get to that detection zone and will use that battery effectively. Just try and breeze ahead of the McLaren, who will have no chance of fighting back with no battery. Well, it's actually, he has some battery himself as well to play with. Oh, but a big snap over that first curb. Took too much of it. Might have just cost him any opportunity of fighting back into that first corner. 3.4 seconds is now that gap between Puzan and Cook. Puzan is absolutely flying here. At the moment, this time. It will not be taken from his grasps in post-race stewarding because he has not put a foot wrong all evening at the moment. Lap 21 of 25. Not long left in this race now. 5 laps to go. Could actually have a battle between the two Haas cars of Sprint and Must. P9 and 10 with BJ O'Reilly also getting involved in this 5-lap old mediums. One to look out for in this one as well. See the two Haas drivers squabbling amongst themselves as actually Sprint goes deep, nearly into the wall. That's going to cost them both dearly, and it might give Ryder the opportunity to get past Must here. He will draw a level with the Haas driver down the Las Vegas strip. Could he do what we saw the 18 do only a few laps ago and get past 2 cars down the same straight? He's going to open up that DRS. It will be free wide, and Sprint's been in this situation before, and it did not end well for the Haas driver, but he's backed off, and there we go for Ryder around the outside. And he makes his way up into 9th place as Sprint is actually able to hold on to 10th. It was Must who actually backed out of the pair as the A-team is looking to fight with Joker, isn't able to find a way through. And for Sprint, is he going to be able to defend from his teammate? A late move before defending. But Must does have to stay behind, tries the up and under, will now look to the outside line. Nearly contact between the two Haas drivers. Must leads himself up into that 10th place. I think something happened to Massive as well because he's now 4.8 seconds behind his teammate of Liam. Catching up this duo in front of him at a rate of knots as Must goes straight on. At turn 5 and into the wall. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Must. He was on to pick up some points, has lost his whole front wing and has retired from the session. Sprint gets 10 seconds for corner cutting. Must have went straight over that chicane. Oh, it's disaster for Haas in the span of a couple of laps. And Newt Panda here might even still get 2nd place away from Cook. Slowly starting to reel in that gap of the championship leader as Liam is able to get past on Sprint, who's had an accident of his own. He's picked up a rear left puncture. A rear left puncture for Sprint. With now 3 laps to go in this Grand Prix, and he picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. What does this mean for Joker? Of course, Sprint has had a couple of spins. But is Joker under that threat now of puncturing a tyre? And could Ben still get a top 4 result here? That yellow flag in the 3rd sector is for Sprint, who's trying to make his way back to the pit lane. Tied from the session. No safety car will be called. A game liking 2 green flag laps. And also he's just retired on the track and he's will trundle back to the pit lane for him. At the front of the field, though. Not really seen him since that battling with Liam. Is, of course, Mr. Puzan. who lost the title at this very circuit thanks to some disconnects, some incidents that he was involved in. But this week, the night is shown the driver we were used to seeing at the beginning of last season, with Cook and all over the back of him. Same with Joker as well, coming under some immense pressure here from Ben. Looking for a dive to the inside as to Williams, trying to scare the kick Sauber offline, who's actually got some front wing damage as well, of course. Isn't able to see himself through, of course. Joker could still be in that puncture territory. Still see that tyre blow on the kick Sauber. We'll have to wait and see, and of course, for Cook, he might still lose out on a second place. Still keep his 100 podium % streak, as Liam's been able to get past Riley, as he must have made that move into turn 5. But of course, 100% podium scoring streak so far for Cook. And I think it's the same for Puzan as well. And this, if Puzan is able to get past, if Cook is able to get overtaken here by Panda, it means Puzan and Cook will be tied on points heading into round 4 of the season. Both picking up a first, second, and a third at some point. But as Puzan starts the final tour of what has been a very chaotic Las Vegas Grand Prix, on lap 25 of 25, it has been a commanding lead at the front ever since he broke that DRS. But the real battle is for this second place. Is it going to be Panda or is it going to be Cook? Of course, you've got the battle for 4th as well, just behind, between Ben and Joker. But at the moment, it is looking like this is in Panda's grasp. It is within Panda's reach. He's a good exit out of turn 8, and then also a good one out of 12. He's lost a little bit of time there, but it won't cost him too dearly. We'll have the slipstream, the DRS, and the battery. Charge down the Aston Martin in front. A good drive out of here. Does need to get himself onto the podium. Half a second is the gap between the pair. Panda will use everything he's got to try and claw back this deficit and take this second place away from the Aston Martin. He's getting closer and closer. DRS now open as he tucks into that slipstream. Will look for a move to the outside. Will he be able to pull this one off on Cook? Around the outside goes to Ferrari, but he goes deep, and this might give Cook the opportunity into the wall nearly for Cook, and out in front of the field. It's been an absolute domination race once again for Puzan. The driver of old comes back with a bang here in Season 7. He's not going to get this one taken away from him, as Cook does end up finishing in second place from Nuke Panda. But for Puzan at the front of the field, this is what we used to see from the kick Sauber at the start of the season. Domination at the front of the field. Wins by 7.6 seconds. The Puzan of old is back. That's 2 on-track wins in 3 races. This one's not going to get taken away from him either. And after the disaster of the season finale here in Vegas, he gets his revenge on this very circuit. And with that, we'll go within 3 points of the championship leads of Cook as we head into round 4 of the season. With Nuke Panda picking up his second podium as well. With Cook keeping up his 100% podium scoring streak. He's 100% top 2 streak as well. And for Puzan, a dominant drive. And is this the bounce back we've all desperately wanted to see? From the Brits. So, your order for today's Las Vegas Grand Prix. It was Puzan from Cook, Panda, Ben, who was able to get onto that 4th place, only just over Joker, Swaggy, the A-Team, Harvey, Liam, and Riley round out your massive sprint. And it was massive who round out your finishes. So, sprint, US Bearder, and Rory, who DNF this evening. And the driver of the day, I think that will well and truly have to go to Puzan. A very solid drive and a strong drive win by 7.6 seconds. Managed the traffic perfectly. Able to pull off most dominant result of the season so far. That is going to be all, ladies and gentlemen, for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. As you can see, my camera has now been fixed. I did fix it in that short. My lovely face, and we don't have to cut away just yet. Of course, for Pazant driver of the day as well. A very solid performance. The championship fight between the two protagonists last season is well and truly on. It's unfortunate for Liam to drop out on some points, but he still has time to fight back as well. And for Joker, very solid drive. Make those hard tyres last as long as they did. Finish a respectable 5th position, but it's not been the start to the season that Joker would have wanted. So certainly have a strong second half of the season, but not to that point yet, as of course. Now, look at the calendar for the remainder of the season. It's Jeddah next time out. We head from one night race in the streets to another. We head from Vegas to the Jeddah Corniche Street Circuit next, followed by a sprint race in Hungary, then Baku, Silverstone, Yas Marina, Qatar, and Shanghai to round off the 24th of May. So 2 months after the season has started. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be all. So thank you all very much for watching. I have been Max Ring. Of course, I'll see you guys next week for round 4 of the season. It's been an absolute pleasure. But we'll see who comes out on top. Will it be Puzant? Will Ben be able to extend that championship lead a little bit further? What he was able to tonight. Fight back against the charge from the Kicksauber. Could Liam himself back on the podium? Could Newt Panda finally get onto the top step or even the second step? Joker start his next part of the season off to a good start. All will be revealed next week at 8 PM UK time on 9 PM Europe time. I'll see you in the next one. So thank you all very much for watching. We shall see you in Jeddah. Stay safe, stay well, and bye-bye.